Hello, this is JeeShen again. I hope you are doing fine. In this video, I'm going to talk about the preparations you need before you perform room mapping to connect your PMS, channel manager, and the OTA. Okay, let's switch to my screen. Right. So you will need three things before you begin the mapping. Okay. First, you will need to have your room codes. Okay, we're gonna talk about what is room code later. Next, you will need rate plan code. Okay, so I use plural because you need if you have more than one rate plan, okay, or if you have more than one room types, okay. And then the third things that you need your login, to both your PMS, channel manager, and your OTA. Okay, so why you need logins to your OTA? Because while doing mapping, you wanted to make sure that the OTA picks up what you have done after the setup. Okay, so now let's start. Okay, what is a room code? Okay, I'm using a screen drawing that I made in my previous video. So on your left you have the PMS and channel manager, on your right you have all the OTA. Okay, so what is a room code? Room code is a code to identify a specific room type. That's it. Okay, so we will have room code can be text. For example, standard room can be room code as SR. In some systems I do notice they use a number, can be a ID like this, so it depends on the system. Okay, but regardless, you need to know that room code is for you to identify the room types. That's it. Okay, not so complicated. Right, the next thing you need is the rate code. Okay, so in my previous video I've talked about best available rate with breakfast, rate without breakfast. So we will normally name the rate plan like this, standard room underscore bar being the rate plan name. Okay, so this name itself is what we call the rate code. Okay, like what I've mentioned earlier, sometimes certain system label them by number. Okay, so I'm just giving you an example that best available rate is identified by this rate code number. Okay, so why this room code and rate code are important when it comes to mapping, right? You need to have this list in plan, and I personally like to have it on an Excel table so that it's easier for me to know, okay, room is to identify which room type, okay, rate code is to identify which rate plan. Okay, so and sometimes the simplest mapping is that you have the same room code on the OTA. For example, you also name standard room on OTA SR, okay, and you also name the same available rate as SR underscore BAR or with any number. So okay, so the easiest way to do mapping is when you have the same room code on both sides. Okay, but in the event that you don't, which happens very often unfortunately because of the OTA, sometimes they don't allow you to define room code, but they give you a number, for example, like a random number. Okay, so in that case, what I would suggest is to basically have a table. Okay, let me finish off this line. Right, I would suggest you to do something like this. Have a table. Oops, I'm sorry. Need to drag. Okay, so have a table. Okay, put the name of your room. For example, let's say I have a name standard room. Okay, name of the room. Okay, then you have the room code on PMS. Okay, do the same room code on OTA. Okay, well, I guess I need more space. Let me create more. Okay, just gonna right. So then you need rate code on PMS. Okay, then you have the rate code on OTA. Right, so okay, let me center this again. Well, now once you have this table, things will look easier. Why? I would personally like to do it on Excel spreadsheets, so that I can quickly come back to this mapping if I wish to make changes to OTA and also mapping. Okay, so just to give an example, the room code that I have here can be standard room. Okay, on OTA, depends on the OTA code given to you, can be number 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, so basically I'm mapping standard room to room code 1 2 3 4 5 on OTA. So what is room 1 2 3 4 5? This is the new number given by your OTA on the room types. Okay, you can find it on your portal once you log in. So that's why you need to log into your OTA. Okay, next you have your PMS rate code, can be BAR. Okay, next you need a rate code on OTA, so can be a number, right? Random number. Okay, so once you have this, the mapping will be easier, way easier for you, because basically what you are trying to do is to kind of say, I am matching these two pair, right? So I have the room code mapped to room code, rate code mapped to rate code. Okay, so sometimes you only need to perform the rate code mapping because each of the rate code has also been mapped to the room code already. So why I said so, for example, you can have standard room BAR on your PMS, then you can have this map to this, right? So with this type of mapping, you do not need the room code anymore, right? Basically, this is the rate code for standard room and it is mapped correctly, and every time there's a booking, I know this is standard room. Okay, I hope this gives you a basic idea of what you need to do and prepare before you perform the mapping. Okay, so on my screen, I have took a screenshot of our systems. Softinn do provide the PMS and channel manager. So once you perform the mapping and it's done, you will notice that in Softinn PMS, you will see the room types. Okay, you will see the rate plans under the room types. On my screen, I have student rate, Expedia rate, bookings.com rate. Okay, so which means I have 3 rate plans, and how I set up the mapping is by using the system provided by us, to perform the mapping. But I wanted to show you this because this gives you an idea that once you perform the mapping, the UI should look something like this, where you can make changes to the price and it will be reflected on OTA. So once you perform the mapping, normally I will perform a change to the price, okay? And I will double check on OTA whether the price is updated, okay? Or likewise, I can also perform a change to the room availability, right? And double check whether the room got updated on OTA. So yeah, Softinn, this is a video that summarizes what you need to prepare before you do the mapping. So I repeat, you need 3 things: room code, rate plan code, and the logins. So I hope you enjoy watching this video, and if you are seeking more help, so feel free to comment in the video, the comment area. And then Softinn do provide PMS, channel manager, and hotel kiosk systems. If you are interested, feel free to visit www.mysoftinn.com. Thanks for watching.